If you're a seasoned survival gamer who's used to succeeding and think you have survival games nailed, think again. Green Hell is here to test, challenge and kill you in many, many ways. From spiders to stingrays, jaguars to natives, there are many things in the jungle that will test your nerve, survival skills and bid you welcome to the jungle! To help you survive day one and hopefully further, here is my Green Hell Beginner's Guide and Tips Tricks tutorial. Green Hell sees you spawning into the jungle with nothing but your wits and a smartwatch. In this game, nothing is certain, other than everything wants to kill you. You're going to want to have a plan and hit the ground running to execute it. Following these steps should give you a fighting chance of seeing it to day two and getting a good foothold. Your smartwatch, while not smart enough to stop you getting stuck in this godforsaken jungle, has three very important settings that you can access by pressing F. The Green Hell smartwatch has a macro element scanner showing you how much protein, water, fat and carbs you have at any one time, and you'll want to work to keep these topped up. A GPS compass shows you your coordinates, so it's crucial to use your coordinates for navigating the very leafy green environment where everything looks the same and it's so easy to get turned around. Lastly, you have a clock to tell the time of day. Whether playing Green Hell on story mode or survival, priorities on day one are the same. Find food, clean water, craft fire and make shelter. So you're going to want to start gathering from the second that you spawn in. Sticks, small sticks, liana rope from trees, small stones or boulders that you can harvest into small stones by right clicking. These are your first priority. From these first few things you can craft your basic tools. The tools you want to craft on day one are an axe, a stone blade, a stone spear and a fire drill. Now you can access your backpack by pressing tab and selecting the crafting icon on the right, or by pressing C and selecting the crafting icon from the wheel. With your backpack open, right click on the initial item to craft. This then opens your crafting table and you can click and drag things across. For a stone blade you're going to need 2 stone. For an axe it's 2 stone, a stick and a liana rope. For a stone spear, you're going to need to craft a stone blade, put a long stick on, and another liana. Finally, for the fire drill, you're going to need 1 stick and 1 small stick. As you're walking around and gathering, you'll want to keep your eyes open for other crucial items. Here are some of the things that I never pass up on day one. I prioritise this plant Molinera, harvesting it for its leaves and then using 1 leaf to craft a bandage. I like to keep at least 4 bandages, if not 8, in my inventory in case of any issues. Basic bandages will treat most injuries such as lacerations, scratches and abrasions, but do beware that they have a higher chance of causing infection, but they will do in a pinch. Now if you stumble across a dead cane toad, a parrot or a toucan, some snails or even a dead mouse and it's your lucky day, pop these into your bag for later and don't overlook the questionable looking unknown mushrooms, unknown fruits or the bananas hanging off the trees. If you find a green coconut on the floor, then you just hit the jackpot. Whack-a-mole it with your axe and pop it in your swag bag for later. Placing a base is a priority for day one. Now you don't want to just place your base where you spawn unless you get very lucky with your spawn location. Spend a bit of time looking around, but not too long as the day passes fast and your stamina will pass faster. If you're lucky enough to stumble across the Oasis or spawn near to its coordinates, which I'm going to put down in the description for you, this is an ideal first location as it's known as a safe haven, has water to clean yourself and plenty of fish for food. Decide where you want to make camp and then place your shelter down. Your shelter and your building craftables can be accessed by pressing tab and selecting your notebook on the right. I like to make a simple wooden frame with either a roof of palm or banana leaves. Use your number keys 1 through to 4 to select your axe. Chop some medium trees because you're going to need 4 logs, then 4 sticks and then 4 liana rope to craft the frame. Chopping 1 medium tree gives you a variety of logs, long sticks and regular sticks. Next you're going to want to place a platform or roof. Select this from the building menu, place the blueprint on your wood frame and then cut down some leaves with your axe and place them in the blueprint. Once you've built your shelter, it will allow you to save the game by looking at the roof and selecting E. It's a good idea to go ahead and save as soon as your shelter is placed because you just never know what wants to kill you. This will also set your respawn location to the shelter. Next you want to prioritise your campfire. It's simple enough to craft but will take stamina to light. Now note that the campfire will go out when it rains if it's not under shelter, and as it rains a couple of times a day, this is why I place shelter first and then a fire. Place it towards the edge of the shelter so you've got a bit of space for a bed. You'll want some regular sticks and some small sticks. Select the campfire from the tab in the notebook, place the blueprint and add the sticks. Then to light the fire you're going to need to select your fire drill from your backpack and have a dry material like a bird's nest or dry leaves. Now bird's nest can be found as you're walking around. Dry leaves can be harvested from some banana palms and ferns, or by cutting smaller ferns and leaving the leaves in your backpack to dry out over time. Now you're going to want to right click on the fire to select light. Your character will sit down and hold the fire drill. You then need to get the dried leaves out of your backpack and click and drag them along to the fire drill. Stamina willing, a short time afterwards you're going to have a roaring fire on which you can cook food, and a side note, it also gives you sanity back. So, oh yes, pickles, sanity is a thing, but that shouldn't be a big problem on day one. Make sure you top up regularly with wood to prevent the fire going out, especially when you're starting out. Next, place a bed. Trust me, you're not going to want to sleep on the floor. Worms don't know social boundaries, and you don't want to have to be getting rid of them. Select your bed from your notebook, add some palms. It's as simple as that. At this point, some people like to go to bed and eat in the morning. Personally, I focus on food. Any dead animals I've found during the day, or rattlesnakes and crabs that I killed during the day, I butcher and cook up. My coconuts then get drunk and rehydrate me, and I harvest the flesh from them. Not only is it a great source of fat, but you also get 2 coconut halves which you can then place on the ground outside your shelter to collect water. And this is really important because water sources are unclean other than the rain. The rain is your clean source of water, and you don't want to get parasites or cooties. Once I've eaten and drunk to fill up my macros as much as possible, I'm going to go to sleep. In general, food gives you protein, fruit gives you carbs, nuts give fat, and water will give, well, water. Be aware that some foods have positive effects and some have negative effects. As with those who came before us, guys, knowledge can only be acquired by taking a gamble and eating the food, and in some cases paying the consequences. With your stomach full and a roof over your head, you can then sleep for the night, ready to wake up and face the jungle. Will you survive another day? Here are a few additional tips that might help you in that endeavour. Blue mushrooms. Whilst they look really questionable, these blue shrooms are the answer to your stamina woes. Located on some of the big trees, think of them as a can of Red Bull. If you see large trees, make sure you check for these, because they can be the difference between starting a fire and not. Your stamina is going to drain very quickly throughout the day, and when it comes to things like lighting a fire, you're going to need that extra boost at times. Blue shrooms all the way. Backpack weight limit. While you need to pick everything up, don't pick up everything. There is a 50 kilogram weight limit, which might seem like a lot, but keep an eye out and prioritise your load, as it will affect your ability to run and your stamina if you're overburdened. Coconut bidons. Yes, you can craft bidons, which means you can carry fresh water around, and this is brilliant if you're going out on a bit of a hike, exploring, or trying to get from A to B. Coconut bidons take one whole kind of brown coconut, not the green one, and a liana rope. Now with that in mind, if you find a coconut on the ground, look up. You'll often see more coconuts above you in the trees, and you can knock these out with a spear. Tool degradation. Now guys, your tools degrade really fast to begin with, so it's a good idea to always try and have a few rocks in your backpack for when that happens. The more you skill up into that tool, the slower the degradation is, and also later you'll be able to craft more advanced tools that take longer to degrade. But try not to get frustrated with them breaking. That's your character's job. Just know that that is a thing and be prepared. Learning recipes. New recipes are generally learnt one of 2 ways, either by seeing a structure at a POI, such as a drying rack or a water filter, or by picking up an item like a stick or a palm leaf. Notebook. Now your notebook is a wealth of information, so make sure you check it. It not only shows you craftables and new recipes, but flora and fauna information, ailments information, and also your skill levels. Inspect. Now there are many ailments, and if you get an ailment, you'll see a magnifying glass. Press tab and click the inspect magnifying glass icon on the right, and you're going to see the option to inspect each arm and leg. Ignoring this will affect your sanity and sometimes your health, and ignoring this can result in avoidable death. Listen to the jungle. The jungle has many, many sounds, but some you're really going to want to listen out to. The hissing of a rattlesnake, the scratching sounds of spiders and scorpions. Walk, don't run. Walking saves stamina, and it lets you hear the world around you. Walking can be the difference between life and death. Check your coordinates, check them and check them again. This is crucial to navigating Green Hell, and you'll want to know where you are, where you've come from, and to know any key locations, for example, your base. It's so easy to get turned around in this environment, and the very last thing that you want is for it to be getting dark and have absolutely no idea where your base is. So do keep checking coordinates on your smartwatch. That said, if you do want some help and need a good Green Hell map as reference to help you, Beowulf posted this incredible map on Reddit. If you don't want to see spoilers, look away now. Now, I found this map to be the most useful as it gives the rocky terrain, it gives water sources, coordinates, compass, caves, grappling areas, scuba areas, and POI locations. It also tells you what you can find at the various locations. Now, okay, if you looked away, guys, you can look back now with just enough time for me to say thank you very much for watching. I really hope you found this useful. And if you have, don't forget to like and sub to support the video. And please, please, please drop a comment below to share tips or feedback. Until next time, guys, watch out for those jaguars and keep surviving.